The December 6, 2017 regularly scheduled meeting of the Township of Lopatcong Township Council. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975. By advertising a notice in the Star Gazette and the Express Times, and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Take a moment for prayer and Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Beth, may we have a roll call?
Yes, Councilman Belcaro, Councilman Polito.
Here.
Councilman Wright.
Here.
Council President Pryor.
Here.
Mayor McKay.
Here. We'll take a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion.
I'll take a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Katrina?
Council was in executive session for approximately 35 to 40 minutes. The topics of discussion are as listed on your agenda. 3 personnel matters: contractual regarding the assignment of a redevelopers agreement, contractual regarding the LAA, and the sale of Block 95, Lot 23.01. The minutes from executive session will be available at such time as the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, we'll go right into public comment, agenda items only. This is public comment for items that are on the agenda. Have we any public comments with respect to said items?
Yes, executive is considered.
May I speak, Mayor?
You may certainly, sir. How are you?
My name is Joe Bauman. I've met some of you before. I'm the counsel for Opus KTV, the redeveloper of Commerce Park. We've presented you with an application for an assignment and transfer of the redevelopment agreement to Bridge Development Partners, a entity that we've been working with to take over the project. We have an agreement with them to sell. We're hoping to close on December 15th. We provide you with a package that explains the fact that they'll take over the agreement, they'll assume all the responsibilities under the redevelopment agreement, and continue the obligations that Opus KTV had. Bridge is an enormous corporation. They recently sold a portfolio of properties in north of $500 million. So they're clearly a capable and able new partner for Lopatcong. I realize that you have time to respond to that approval, and I'm hopeful that you've discussed it at some length among you. What we're up against is that December 15th time of the essence closing date, when Opus is supposed to deliver our approvals to the bridge construction so that we can close on the sale of the land. You have the meeting tonight. This is our last deliverable under that agreement, so I'm here to ask you to consider approving that resolution tonight. If there's any questions I can answer, I'd be happy to do so tonight if possible. Again, that's all I have, and I'm here for questions as well. So I appreciate your time and the opportunity to speak to you, and again, I urge you to consider this matter tonight. Thank you.
Okay, I don't see anybody else with anything to say. Accordingly, I'll take a motion to come out of public comment, agenda items only.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Old business. First item, approve executive and regular session minutes for November 1st, 2017. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Polito.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor McKay.
Yes. Ordinance number 2017-09. This is the second reading and public hearing to amend Chapter 243 entitled Zoning and Land Use. And this is to create the MF12 multifamily age-restricted zone. Okay, we're going to have to go into...
Motion to open the public
We
hearing.
get a motion to open the public hearing. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Katrina, do you want to take the introduction of that and just give a little blurb?
Sure. This is part of one of the final pieces of the township settlement with their fair share housing litigation, affordable housing litigation, and Larkin as its intervener. This has been published on the township's website. In addition to the ordinance reading, it's been published on the township's website for several months. It was heard by the planning board at its last meeting. I believe they passed a resolution of
Yes, they did.
support.
November.
So at this point, this is the final piece to close out the township's affordable housing. It is to rezone the area between the strip mall and Strikers Road, Baltimore Street, 57, and Warren Heights. And this is to meet our affordable housing obligation. That's it in a nutshell. Everything
Okay.
else is available online.
All right, well, thank you very much for that. Does any member of the public have anything they wish to say, sir?
My name is John Betts, I live in Brakely Gardens, and the only thing I have to say is that I'm glad that a portion of this apartment complex development, whatever, will be going into a possible senior housing, 4-story senior housing building with an elevator and things of that nature to service the seniors of the community and the surrounding areas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
Welcome. Okay, do we have any other member of the public that might wish to make comment on this matter? Okay, this being the case, I'll take a motion for us to close the public part of this.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Now, do we have to go do our vote now?
Yes.
Yeah. all
Motion
right.
to adopt.
So I'll take a motion to adopt.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Beth, please read the roll.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Okay, we go to our third item of old business, ordinance number 2017-10, second reading and public hearing to rescind ordinance number 1997-03, and that was the ordinance that established the Lopatcong Athletic Association. We're going to rescind that. Katrina, do you want to give a little quick thing on that?
Sure. Do you want to open it for public?
Yeah, let's open it for public comment. I'll take a motion.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're out there.
Okay, prior to 1997, the Lopatcong Athletic Association was a private organization in 1997, or thereabouts. The council brought it under the wing of the township, mostly for insurance purposes. So an ordinance was created to create the Lopatcong Athletic Association as an entity of the township. At this point, the Athletic Association is now a not-for-profit organization, 501c3, and they are their own entity. So the insurance company asked us to make sure we cleaned up our books and take this ordinance off the books so there's no confusion that the Athletic Association is separate and apart from the township and is no longer under our insurance or a part of the township. They are designated as the official athletic association or the youth sports organization of the Township of Lopatcong, but they are not controlled by the township.
Thank you for that succinct description of this matter. So are there any members of the public that have a comment in this matter or have a question? Okay, good. I'll take a motion to close the public part of this.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now I'll take a motion to pass this ordinance.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? No? Beth, roll call, please.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Moving into new business, Animal Control Officer Robert Laganera, I can't get that one. Is he here? Oh, yeah, there you are. Okay, you're going to address the feral cat issue. Well, please do so, sir.
Well, for those of you that haven't met me yet, I'm your new animal control officer. As I started taking over new towns, I started trying to come up with some new programs to deal with certain animal issues. One of those would be feral cats. If anyone's unfamiliar with the term feral cat, pretty much it means that cat's like a raccoon. It's wild. They are very difficult to place in shelters. They're very difficult to adopt, and they're actually very difficult to maintain. A lot of shelters nowadays are actually refusing to even take them. What we've done in the past when we've had issues with animals like that is we do something called the TNR program. What that stands for is trap, neuter, and release. So we're not necessarily taking these animals off the street, but we are making it so they can't reproduce, they cannot spread disease, and they in general control the population that way. If I bring feral cats into shelters, they also don't really go anywhere, so they take up space. It makes it very difficult for us to bring in other animals. What I was proposing with council, and I've done with most of my other municipalities, is a request to use a section of the dog budget specifically, so nothing to do with any other taxes. It's the money that comes in from your dog licensing, tickets that I write and things like that. Take a section of that and sequester it for TNRing for cats for the next year. I found a vet that will be willing to do about $50 a cat. And whenever there is an opportunity for a clinic program where there's a cheaper option, I'll be able to use those as well. We have seen as low as $5 a cat in the past, but we have to kind of transport them to other areas, or sometimes we can get a van to come in. But I'm obviously going to be looking for the cheaper options so I can utilize the funds as best as I can. What I would need council to do is to approve this and also look at the budget and see what kind of money is in that revolving dog budget that's never used, pretty much. And we can kind of put that aside and say, you guys can give me enough money to take care of like 10 cats or something like that. And
Okay.
then once I hit that number, I stop for the year. That's
All right.
pretty much it.
I think, Beth, maybe you have a pretty good clue on that budget.
I did speak
Yeah.
with Bernie today, our CFO, and he did acknowledge that we do have some money in our
I
account
figured.
for that.
Okay.
If we didn't use it for dogs or cats, where does it go?
I think it just stays there.
Stays there.
That's what I'm saying, pretty much. So we're trying to use it for something.
Are there any-
I don't know what kind of issue you guys have, by the way, too, because I've only taken over Lopat within the last month or so. I know Washington Borough has a massive issue. Some of the other towns have things here and there, but it gives me the option when I pick up a cat, if I can tell that it's completely feral and no one's going to want this cat, I'm going to let it go, but I'm going to make sure that it can't reproduce, doesn't have rabies, and that it's got its ear tips, so we know that's been done. That's pretty much it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Now, if anyone does have concerns about it, though, and they do know of areas within Lopat that have feral cats, that's what I'm kind of looking for right now, too, is to see if anybody has concerns or issues where there's colonies or anything like that.
What do you need tonight, a motion, or?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right,
I'd
thank
just
you.
like to put some kind of cap on it, so we don't, I mean, within the
That's
limits
fine.
of our budget or
Yeah,
something,
exactly.
something general
Yeah.
like that.
Okay, I'll take that's a motion.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion further? Okay, Beth, roll call, please.
Sure. Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes.
Thank you,
All
Council.
right, you're approved. Review the request for sanitary sewer allocation for the schoolhouse village property.
I'd like to table that.
Table?
Right.
Is that okay with the rest of you?
The evaluation really didn't look at the status of our allocation with P-Berg, and I think we have to do that.
All right, I certainly bow to your knowledge in the matter of sanitary sewers. Approve the release of any and all monies being held by the township to Bob Pacone since all work at the former Delaware Park School has been completed. Now, who is recommending this, Paul?
I would recommend that the governing body approve that release. Mr. Paccioni has completed all the work associated with that project. In fact, it's been done probably for about a year. So, no objections. I'd recommend that you do that.
Okay, are there any objections? There are no, okay. Then I will take a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second? Second. There's money here. Beth, would you call the roll, please?
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Abstain.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Approve Mayor McKay execute utility engineering and construction agreement by America commitment letter, vendor identification, verification, and Buy America certificate of compliance relating to Route 22 Bates Avenue to Route 57 Drainage Improvement Project, as recommended by sewer engineer Dan Madden. Now, do you have a blurb on that, Beth, did you say?
Well, I did ask Dan to take a look at that. He's aware of the project and the commitment by the town. He authorized the agreement to be signed. We have some copies there tonight.
So it's at his recommendation, and
Yes.
recommendation as sewer engineer that we sign this. Okay. Thank you very much. All right, then I would ask for a motion from the council to approve my executing these agreements.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? Oh, no, it's probably, there's money in this. Roll call, please.
There are Councilman Frida,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Yes.
Before we move on to the consent agenda, I'd like to take item number 7 off and have that discussed separately.
Yeah, okay. Let's discuss item number 7. Item number 7 is a proclamation that came in with respect to school choice. So I put it out here so we could discuss it and just decide whether or not we wish to approve that proclamation. It's for school choice. You know, the school choice project, the Lopatcong schools have students that come into the school via school choice. So, now, I assume that you have something to say, so say.
Okay.
Good.
Am I okay now? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
What?
Am I have the floor now? Okay.
Well, it's an agenda item. You have the
Yeah.
floor.
All right. We discussed this last year and chose not to do it. I don't know if you remember or not. First off, this organization promotes school choice. They're from Florida. I don't know much about them. I don't know who funds them and so on. School choice is a controversial subject. I have no opinion in the affirmative or against it, but other people do. Lopatcong does not have school choice, the full range of school choice. They participate in the program where if we have openings, other kids can come here. I think they have 2 openings this year. That is a very, very small element of school choice. School choice goes all the way from homeschooling, charter schools, vouchers, tax credits, transfer of money to parochial schools. The teachers' unions generally oppose it. Matter of fact, I have stuff here, recent articles against it. The National PTA only supports, actually, they don't support that much of it, small parts. Our charter is not education. We're not familiar with it. We don't understand it. It's controversial. I don't see why we want to get involved. They said 660 mayors endorsed it. There's 564 mayors in New Jersey, so, I mean, nationwide, there's got to be thousands. It's a relatively small, percentage of municipalities that take a side in this, so I think we just punt and we leave it up to the people who are involved in education.
Then I would suggest that we take a vote on it, and that's what I wanted to do when we came here with it. So I will look for a motion to approve this. If we don't get a motion, we'll drop it. Do I have a motion? Okay, no. All right, so then we will drop it. Now we have the consent agenda, 6 items. You've all looked at it, I assume. Now we'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
I will make that motion.
Have I a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Toledo.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Yes. Council reports. Mr. Polito.
EDAC, we had a meeting last week. We met with some members of the Lopatcong EDAC. I've attended some of their meetings. and we may be reaching out to some other EDACs, local municipalities, to see how we can support each other and help our EDACs in each municipality grow. And I will be attending the county EDAC next week. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your report. Mr. Pryor?
Well, I'll do Mr. Vilcaro's first since he's not here. It's a brief one. The Stonehenge Force Main Replacement project, that project is completed. Final contract value is $547,000. Did we do a change order on that last meeting, Beth? The final supplemental agreement? I don't know, this isn't normally mine, I'll have to check that. The Stonehenge pump station improvements, contractor's supposed to mobilize next week, and they should be done in 2 or 3 weeks, hopefully by the end of the year. There were some manhole repairs that Brian requested. I guess the Route 57 contractor has not been able to give us a price, so Dan's recommendation is you proceed on your own.
Yes, and I have the contract.
Okay. Now my own. Mayor Kern from Lopatcong called me. He has a proposal to make Lopatcong residents eligible for our Lopatcong resident pool rates in exchange for a payment from Pohat directly to Lopatcong. The details aren't there yet. I don't know whether it'd be a lump sum payment up front or just a subsidy. He's been talking about, he's been trying to get a handle on how many Pohat people use our pool. I think that would be beneficial, both sides, probably result in an increase in membership here.
No, they'd pay the same rate as a Lopatcong resident, except Pohatcong would pay.
Make up the difference?
Make up the difference, okay.
Difference. Discussion with Phillipsburg School Superintendent Greg Troxel. He wrote me a letter concerning emergency access. People may remember this was discussed about 3 years ago, never came up with a solution. He understands that. We suggested we just to get together and start out with a very small group and informal discussions identifying possible alternatives. That will be scheduled. I'd like to thank Bill Taggart for providing me with some background material from 3 years ago. The LAA was mentioned. It's now fully incorporated as a 501c3. They have their own insurance. They operate not under, but pursuant to a contract with the township. Township gives them certain privileges, and they have certain obligations under the contract. But that's in force. It's working. The only item remaining to be taken care of is we still have some funds, and we're going to work that out at the December closeout meeting. Finally, this is my last meeting before the holidays. I go visit the grandkids, so I'm not around for that closeout meeting. For our departing mayor and the Christmas spirit, I simply say, peace be with you. I wish you health in the year ahead and the years after that. I'd like to thank our township employees and volunteers for their efforts during the past year, and I look forward to working with all of you in 2018. And last but not least, I'd like to thank our citizens, particularly the ones that come and sit here through these meetings, for their support, input, and patience. Lopatcong is a great place to live, and I look forward to working with our new mayor to make it even better in 2018. And with that, I say happy holidays to everyone.
All right, thank you. Mr. Wright?
The only thing I have is, I spoke with Lloyd Cheslett from the rec committee. They're going to try to run the cat calendar again. Or pet calendar, I should say. So we just got to get approval for, I guess, to do that through the town. Use our name.
Are you prejudiced against dogs?
No, I am, right? No. I wouldn't have that.
It's just cats?
No, it's dogs and cats.
Oh, okay.
Pet calendar. So I guess we need to give her permission.
As I understand it, Laura, you want to come up? Can you come up? I never saw the last one. It's done as a fundraiser, is it?
Yes, yeah. So last year we had the pet contest, and everybody submitted their pictures, and I've been getting a lot of requests from people who want to submit more pet pictures to have another contest.
Yeah.
The calendars only cost about $170, and we sold them for $5 each, so it wasn't too bad. I think we went through all of them.
And we account for that in your budget? The
Yeah.
rec does it?
Yeah. I mean, we did,
Yeah.
last year I donated the funds, and then the donations went to the township, but we should have it. I
We should
confronted
have
again.
it. We should
Yeah.
have it available, so.
Yeah, because there's a sale going on right now, and we could do it really quickly. We'll announce it.
Well, you
tomorrow.
should if it's calendar, right?
Yeah.
So would you need a?
And it's all pets.
Need a motion tonight?
Yeah, if you could do that, great.
Well, I'll make a motion if
Make
we
a
could,
motion.
yeah.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mark.
That's it, that's all I have.
That's what you got. Okay, so that's, yeah, that's all. What else do we got? We got the report of the engineer. Paul?
Thank you, Mayor. I will have items to discuss at the next meeting on the 28th related to road projects, so I'm going to defer till then. The only significant thing I want to report to the council and the public is that I did file a reimbursement request for the Phillipsburg High School roadway improvement project, and that, once it's approved by the department, will allow for us to receive another $75,000 under the grant. So that paperwork has been filed, and we'll be following up with the Department of Transportation to make sure that's being processed quickly for us. That's all I have to report.
Okay. Next, we have the report of the chief of police.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. So for the month of November, police summary report, we had 884 logged incidents and activities, 7 criminal and other arrests. For traffic violations, there was a total of 110 summonses issued throughout the month, and our motor vehicle crash reports for the month consist of 27 with 7 reported injuries. That's my report for November. However, I have just a couple brief announcements. Myself and Councilman Wright were able to attend the graduation for our newest officers. They graduated on November 30th. Caleb Wisner and Dean Berrigan, so we're excited to have them out. It was a very nice ceremony, and they deserved it. They did very well. I know Warren County was well represented at the ceremony as well. There's a number of officers that graduated. The month of December, starting December 8th through January 1st, we'll be partaking in the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. That'll be running through the holiday weekends or holiday month, and extra enforcement will be out there looking for impaired drivers. So be safe out on the roadways. It's always a busy time of the year, but we will be having extra enforcement out there. And then lastly, tomorrow we'll be attending a Narcan awareness event. A couple of our officers in the department, Sergeant LaFord and Patrolman Gabos, will be recognized tomorrow for their life-saving efforts with the use of Narcan. So there'll be an event over at the Warren County Community College tomorrow in recognition of those people affected and an awareness for Narcan. That's my report for November. I appreciate all the support that council and mayor has shown throughout the year. We look forward to another great and successful 2018 coming up. Mayor, I wish you the best of wishes to you and your family moving forward. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think the next thing is to approve the committee reports. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Fryer?
Yes.
Mayor Mikel?
Yes. Now we approve the payment of bills. Now, you had mentioned something about the document that was provided for the payment of bills earlier, Beth. I think it's not the final, did you say, or was it only a portion of it
That
wasn't
was
final?
just a report on revenues and expenditures for the year.
All right. Okay. So we got to go through all this. All right, I see what you mean, I think. I believe that the total of bills is $1,754,281. Is that correct? There's many pages here, and we just get it a little while ago, so. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's only the first page. And they're all sorted different ways after that.
I know, it's kind of confusing sometimes. Well, I believe that's what it is. That includes the sewer fund and everything, so. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the list of bills.
Yeah,
Oh,
before
I'll
you-
ask for a motion, by the way.
Or before we make that much, I'm going to recuse myself from JMT. I had severed my relationship with them about a year ago. Client asked me to come back and do some work. I do that through JMT, so
Okay,
I'm going to
understood.
recuse myself from anything having to do with JMT till further notice.
All right, understood. I'll take a motion for approval of the bills.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Beth, roll call, please.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President
Yes.
Fryer? Mayor Mikel?
Yes. Okay, now we move into audience participation. We're open for audience participation. Ma'am?
Thank you, Tom. I don't know if I'll get another opportunity, so, I'm sorry, what was that? Mayor, not Tom. Oh. Mayor Tom McKay, thank you very much. Like I said, I'm not sure that I'll have another opportunity to speak or to attend a meeting, so I wanted to take a minute and thank you, Tom, for your work and your commitment to this community. It's been a really rough run, Mr. Mayor, what you're looking at. I want to really thank you, and I want you to look at me when I do it, because it's been really painful to watch in this audience what you've endured as you've tried to serve this community. And I just don't know that everybody in the room recognizes as much as I do your authentic intentions in taking on this role. And I was there with you through it all. And so it doesn't matter if anybody else knows, because I know. I know you took this on because you wanted to do good things for this community. I know you knew that it was going to be challenging, but that you were ready to face those challenges. And I knew that you wanted to do good work, and that you wanted to change the tone of the government in Lopatcong. It's unfortunate that you really weren't able to accomplish your vision for the community, because I don't think that you expected all-out warfare. And it's really unfortunate that you really were met with utter obstruction, just an unrelenting effort to disarm and discredit you at every moment. We've all been around to see it, so there's no denying it. There's nothing we can do to go back and change it. We can only do better moving forward. But we'll never know how impressive your accomplishments would have been had you not been forced to, I guess, sit back to avoid constant warfare all the time. But in that effort throughout those years, I think you accomplished something a lot more impressive than that. And that is just a vision of just unmatched integrity in every way. I've never seen a person go through so much, endure so much, in such a self-sacrificial way, just to do the right thing, just to honor a commitment that they made, just because that's what you said you were going to do, and you were going to stick it out no matter what you were put through. That is a rare quality. Every single person walking on this planet will tell you that they've got a moral compass and that that's what they listen to. Very few people actually do it, and I am impressed. And they can never take that away from you. That is an accomplishment that you have forever and ever, and it's a legacy you leave behind. You were incredibly composed throughout these years, despite the difficulty. And I just want to say thank you for really going through that. I hope that you're not the last mayor or elected official in this town who really ever has to fight for it and want it to earn their seat in this town. Maybe someday another group of well-meaning citizens will come along and, and they'll be included and involved and engaged in the community, and they won't be shut off and put away. But all we can do is hope for the best on that. I wanted to say thank you. Things could have been a lot better than they were, but I think it's incredible and amazing that you endured what you endured and that you stuck to your guns and served your community. And I know that you had great intentions, and I think that you deserve a lot of credit for that. So don't let anybody ever take this away from you. You did an incredible thing these past few years, and it was very self-sacrificial. Okay, it's all up to karma and the feds now.
Thank you. Do we have any other comments?
I'd like to say, Mayor, that through the thick and the thin and through the ups and the downs, the thing they can't take away is that you will hold a title as mayor forever. All right? How you feel about it is your decision in life. All right? How the rest feel is theirs. All right? So do as you choose and enjoy life wherever you go. So, thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
I would like to bring up the subject, which is on a national level. And I would hope that each and every person in this room, my name is John Betts at Brakely Gardens, would talk to their political friends, their business partners, their business friends, their everyday friends, and express in some manner that the tax bill that was passed over the weekend may or may not work out all right. We had this go on under Reagan. We had it further under George Bush, where these trickle-down theories were taken into account. The theory would work, but then you have to depend on the businesses to carry through with using the money offset through the tax cuts on creating jobs for the American countrymen, and thereby creating economies underneath the businesses of our country at the root level. And it's through this domestic business growth that the true economy would grow, and not just the algebraic Arabic numeral equivalencies of each other to a 4% growth in the economy, just by numbers, not really producing anything, not really going forward, not bringing up a nation of countrymen. And I would hope that the $1.4 trillion deficit in this budget that was passed on Saturday is not used, and not that Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid are not used to further substitute this $1.4 trillion shell pushage from Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. So in theory, what should happen is the tax cuts, part of them should be tax cut to the businesses and to the the wealthiest people in the country, but another part of them should go through the theory of what continuously is spoken about, things like Reaganomics and the reason for tax cuts and how business will grow. And that is to create jobs and to create roots of an economy that will grow the true economy and not just the equitized numbers game that's played with the tax cuts in the past. So with that in mind, I hope that the Congress and Senate find these needs necessary to create business, and hope that they hold their business relationships responsible for doing so, and try to stress to them the importance of doing this, along with the use of the tax cuts to abate some of their costs, but also to create living wage jobs. With that, that's all I have to say. Just don't throw it on the backs of the $1.4 trillion. I hope they don't throw it on the backs of the Medicare recipients, the Medicaid recipients, and the disabled, and the Social Security situation. There are tons of huge repercussions will occur, because if you don't feed the roots with jobs, you're not going to grow the business on top in any other fashion than Wall Street does, the real estate industry, and the banking industry does. There's no other way than to grow the base as they did in the 1950s and 1960s, by growing, by creating things that the population needed, by growing the structures of our government and our business structures to provide for the needs and wants of the people. And with that, I'll end that comment. And Mr. Thomas McKay, there have been rough times with your mayorship, but you did stick it out. I realize that, and I think that you did it under very hard circumstances, and you should be proud of yourself for that, in that instance, that you stood up and you strongly held it. There have been hard times, there have been disagreements, I haven't agreed with everything you want to do, whether that means anything or not, but the integrity of standing up for yourself and standing in a position and staying is something that really gets to me when somebody does that, so thank you. And council, thank you, and I hope that each and every one of you talk to your friends, relations, acquaintances, and political people. I've been calling Leonard Lance's office, Josh Gottheim's office, the senators' offices, and I've been trying to deal with that myself, so thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Issues for South 6th Street. Mayor, I'm sure you know I have not been a fan of yours over the years. That being said, I wish you no ill will as you move forward. Basically, while I'm up here, I'd like to apologize. You have some personal friends, but you would address a position, you should be addressed as mayor, not by your first name. And I apologize for that happening. Whether somebody likes you or whether they don't like you, you should be addressed, the position should be addressed, I feel, the position you hold, not by your first name.
Okay. Jim.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, citizens. Mayor, as you exit tonight, whether I agreed or disagreed with you, I wish you nothing but the best. You had the guts to put your name on a ballot, as did these gentlemen up here, as others have in this room. That in itself takes some integrity. You yourself said you had an unjustifiably rough ride for whatever the reasons. That ride is now over. I wish you nothing but the best. As your mayor-elect, as someone here said in the crowd about a group of people, the name Mingucci has appeared on a ballot 13 times in this township since 1964. All that means to me is that when that name appears, you must feel you're going to get a fair shake. And I can assure you moving forward that everyone in this township, regardless of your views, will get a fair shake from me and hopefully from this council. I look forward to working with Joe, Bill, Jim, and Lou to move this township forward to, again, having it be a people helping people community. We are a very diversified community. We have a lot of intelligent people in this community. I intend to do my best to bring both sides together and move forward, because divided, we're not going anywhere. We need to get off the hamster wheel, because we're running like hell and we're going nowhere. So we need to get some things done. Thank you very much. Everybody have a happy holiday. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. Eric?
Good evening, everybody. Eric Johnson, 361 Stonehenge Drive. I usually approach this bench with a pre-planned speech or asking somebody to look into something. Tonight I do that. Tonight I just wish Mr. Mayor all the best, and I hope you had I know you did not accomplish all that you set out to do in your 3 years. My only advice to you is, when you look back, remember the accomplishments. There were some. Remember the good times. There were some. It might not have been the majority, but you did make a difference for this town. I am very proud of what you did, and it was not an easy job that you had up there. So thank you very much, and on behalf of everybody who voted for you, you did not let us down. Thank you very much. And to council, our engineer, and attorney, and Beth, and everybody in the audience, I won't see you before Christmas, so Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I look forward to working for the new mayor and council as we move forward in 2018. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, this will be my last regular monthly town council meeting as mayor, and I would like to thank the good township employees and professionals for their continued and dedicated service during my tenure. I want to especially thank former Councilwoman Donna Schneider, Eric, and Juniper, who have participated in the township government, for enduring what they did for the good of the residents. They weren't in here for any other reason but to make things better. Over the years, I developed a genuine and caring feeling for the regular people of Lopatcong who slave away to give their families the American dream. We can only hope that going forward, this council will make them their priority and proceed forth to make life better for these residents through honest government and selfless service. And that's what it takes, and that's what I'm sure you're going to give them, because they need a break. It's hard. Again, I'm not going to see many of you before Christmas and the holidays, and so I wish you all Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. And I wish to say to Jim, I hope that you have a very successful mayorship, and I have a gift for you, which I'll give you later. All right? Okay. Anything else isn't worth talking about, you know? It's just, let's go forward. And thank you very much. I think we have one item left. Do we? Yes, it's called adjournment. And I will take a motion. Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. You're adjourned.